Welcome to the future of retail in Africa. Globally, the retail sector is changing at a really fast pace. E commerce is becoming more and more widespread, and retailers are moving towards automated stores. This means that retailers need less space and also less employees. Such a decreased reliance on human labor will not only have cost saving effects, but also avoid the demands of organized labor, such as providing workers with adequate social protection. Women form the largest percentage of retail workers, putting them in a more precarious position. Is all of this true for Africa? Services like automated stores and online shopping are associated with middle to high level income groups. When we look at Africa, this looks a little bit different. There are some changes we can see in Africa. Internet penetration has gone up very high over the course of the last few years. Africa also has the fastest rate of urbanization in the world. Mobile money, like M-Pesa, has seen large scale adoption in Africa. With e commerce, however, we see some challenges. For example, the fact that most Africans are unbanked. Some of the challenges in the retail sector in Africa include the cost of data, the lack of infrastructure, and the cost of labor. At the moment, while labor costs remain much lower than automation costs, companies might choose not to do away with its workforce in favor of automation. What changes can we see? The gig economy, like Uber, Airbnb, and Fiverr, is becoming more and more prevalent. Domestic workers have been working on a gig basis for decades. However, now we've seen the introduction of tech, which enables widespread, flexible, and on demand work opportunities. In America and in Europe, over 64 million people supplement their income with gig work, while in South Africa, temporary employment rose from 2.6 million in 2017 to 3.9 million in 2018. The biggest and most important change that we are seeing is flexibility. Instead of relying on automation, which is often expensive and reliant on infrastructure, employees are seeking more flexible workforces. Unions are constantly faced with employers whose main objective is to terminate all permanent contracts that provide employees with any form of social security. Retail work in Africa is starting to take on a more flexible form in which workers are not protected and jobs are not secured. Flexible workers are often not protected and don't have any of the benefits of permanent employment, like sick leave, medical aid, life insurance, and retirement plans. What can unions do? Look at clauses like guaranteeing minimum working hours, job guarantees for the length of the CBA, restrictions on staff dismissals, restrictions on subcontracting, and the protection of non permanent workers. An important one to add is education and training, including reskilling to meet new skills demands. Unite Here, a union in the US, sets a good example for bargaining for the changing world of work. In June 2019, the union managed to include protections from technological change in its contracts, training for workers where jobs are created or modified by technology, and the company must try to find jobs for displaced workers. However, the union's most vital achievement was a clause that the union would get 180 days warning of technological deployments. This means that the company has to let the union know well in advance what their new technologies entail and gives the union time to respond and negotiate around these new technologies. This means that the company feels it can move forward and adapt to the times, but also gives the union time to understand the effects the changes might have on workers. If there are any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to the Labour Research Service.